Howdy folks, today let's talk about in-ear monitor tips and why they may affect the tuning of a headphone and exactly why it's happening. A lot of folks think that foam tips, mostly the foam tips folks get are going to be like the Comply style. This is a I think 500 isolation tip right here, the gray one. The red one is actually the same thing. Whoops, do that. However, the red one I cut the bottom off of the backside so that it's shorter. And the reason I do that is so that I can create more pin gain on any given headphone because it is a shallower fit with the red type of bore here. And just to let folks know, I've got this other like more extreme example, which is it's a Comply, I think it's called a Comfort T500, and they're rounder, but I cut that off even shorter than any of these guys, as you can see. So this shorter Comply is my go-to when I want more pin gain, and that's generally for my flat tunings or flatter tunings. And but here's the thing. So folks think that foam tips, by virtue of the fact they're made from foam, decrease treble. That's not what's happening. What's actually happening, but we have a silicone tip over here. But what's actually happening is the foam, as you compact it and roll it up, you do the rolly roll, stick it in your ear, leave it for a second, and it expands, right? So if we get a headphone here and we do the rolly roll, sorry about the grossness, then we get something, well, basically something that you can shove in your ears pretty deep and then it expands, right? Versus, I don't know, a silicone tip, which you just kind of shove in there and it stays, right? But here's what is actually happening. The foam itself is not absorbing treble frequencies. It's not causing the overall tonality to change. It is doing that, but it's not because the foam is absorbing treble. It's because the foam is actually plugging more of your ear canal. On the last video, I talked about in-ear compensation for pin gain and things like that. And I was talking about basically that if you shallow fit a headphone right at the tip of your ear canal, you're going to create a gain, which has been sort of documented around 10 dB. And why foam tips cut that down is because it fills more of your ear canal up, thereby decreasing that, say, like 2.5K resonance peak and moving sort of like the sound, the exit of the sound, the bore, closer to your eardrum versus a silicone tip. That's entirely what's happening. It is absolutely not the foam absorbing treble frequencies and dampening that out. That's not what's happening. It's because of the inner ear canal resonances and foam just plugging it up more. I wanted to make that clear because, God, this is one of those things that I've read this like a million times and I've just never really talked about it out in the open, but it's absolutely true. It's not the type of material, it's how long it is and how much it fills up your ear canal. That's the 2.5K resonance factor, 10 dB, according to Etymotic. The more deep you get your headphone in, the more pin gain you're going to actually need in the tuning. Vice versa, the shallower, the less pin gain. Good to go. Hopefully that explanation makes sense for folks. Right on. Talk to you later.